The human body hides mysteries that science still struggles to explain, but few are as fascinating, as powerful, and as emotional as the beginning of life itself. While a woman goes about her daily routine, completely unaware that something extraordinary is happening inside her, a miracle has already begun, in total silence. Hidden from every eye, but with a force strong enough to change everything. Just 22 days after conception, the baby's heart begins to beat. That's right. Less than 1 month after the sperm and the egg unite, a tiny heartbeat emerges inside the embryo. It's smaller than a grain of rice, barely visible under a microscope. Yet it already pulses with life. And here's the most incredible part. In most cases, the mother doesn't even know she's pregnant. She still lives her ordinary life, unaware that inside her, a new heart is already beating. That faint rhythm, undetectable to human ears, is the first sound of a new existence. Doctors call it a biological miracle, because in just a few weeks, nature builds something that no machine on Earth could ever replicate: a living, beating human heart. But how is this even possible? How can something so complex come to life so quickly? It all begins at the moment of conception. When a sperm cell enters an egg, a brand new DNA code is created, a combination that has never existed before in the history of the world. From that moment on, every cell knows exactly what it has to become as the embryo begins its journey toward the uterus. Some of those cells start preparing to become the heart. They align perfectly, move with purpose, as if following an invisible blueprint. Soon, they form a structure called the cardiac tube, the primitive foundation of what will become the heart. But even before it's fully formed, those tiny cells begin to contract on their own, like sparks of life, awakening in the dark. What's truly astonishing is that these contractions happen before the brain even exists. The heart starts beating on instinct, as if life itself refuses to wait. That's why the heart is the first functioning organ in the human body, the first to wake up, and the last to stop. Every beat pushes oxygen and nutrients through the embryo, allowing other organs to grow and develop. Without the heart, nothing else could form. It's like the conductor of an invisible orchestra, the rhythm that leads the creation of life. And that faint thump thump, barely detectable with advanced technology, marks the beginning of a journey that may last 80, 90, even 100 years. Think about that. While someone lives an ordinary day, goes to work, eats lunch, checks their phone, inside her, a heart she doesn't yet know exists is already beating. A heart that never asked to exist, but was born to continue. At this stage, the embryo doesn't even look human, but it already has rhythm. It already has energy. It already has life. Science explains the mechanics, the chemical reactions, the electrical impulses, the proteins that trigger those first contractions. But even science admits there's still something deeper, something it can't fully measure. The mystery of the first heartbeat. What makes those cells start moving in harmony? How do they know the exact moment to begin? Why does life start with the sound of a heart and end with its silence? For now, science can only describe the process. But beyond the biology, there's a sense of awe, a silent understanding that something greater is happening. In just a few days, what was once only a microscopic cell becomes a living organism, and it all begins with that tiny rhythm, the first beat of a human heart.